genuinely never learned more in a walking tour than I did in Puerto Rico. I always try to do a walking tour on the first day of my trip just to learn more about the culture and history. And this was a food and history walking tour, so I knew that it was going to be a good time. And it was a rainy day, so I really couldn't do that much. But we started off having breakfast and tried Mallorca's, which is like a pastry sandwich, and learned about the history of coffee because Puerto Rico used to be one of the biggest coffee producers in the world. And we learned about how coffee actually comes from Ethiopia, and Mocha is a town in Yemen. And then we learn about the indigenous history and why Puerto Ricanos are called Boricuas, and how it comes from the Taino word Boriquen, which means the land of the brave people. And there's so many Taino words that we use today, like hurricane comes from hurrican. We also learned so much about Spanish colonization and the Spanish-American War that resulted in Puerto Rico becoming a U.S. territory. Our second stop was a super local place for a simple but delicious lunch, which was rice and beans and meat with guanabana and rum. And this was a super popular, easy, and filling meal amongst workers, and rum was actually made by enslaved people who came to Puerto Rico to work on plantations. And then we went to a chocolate shop and got chocolate martinis, and we learned a little bit about the history of chocolate production with some normal croquetas and bacalao, which I don't love, but I feel like they're really popular here. And then our next stop was second lunch, where we tried mofongo, which I've had before, but this is basically a tribute to fufu in West Africa, and it's made with plantains, which is a staple in Caribbean culture. And then we got popsicles from Senor Paleta, which was so refreshing after a long day of learning and having so much fun and meeting new people.